Any doubt with respect to how to calculate this quantization code or how to encode it? Okay, how to find the normalized quantized values, right? Okay, I'll just tell you. No problem. Okay. Okay, so I have just marked some particular things over there. Can you able to view that? So the pink colored value. Yes. So this is nothing but, according to me, it is at the middle point, exactly middle in that particular area. So it starts with 0 as a reference point, right? So I need to identify the next particular point. That is, this is instead of D, you identify it as 1. One, this is 2, fine. This is 3, this is 4. Similarly, whichever it comes below 0 is -1, one is -2, this one is -3, this one is -4. Understanding it? So clear with respect to this bifurcation now? Now, your 6.1, if I just take this particular first example, first sampling rate, which is minus 6.1. 6.1 is lying in this -1 to -2, right? So in between, which is the middle value that we have? Which is the middle value between -1 to -2? That's what the quantized value is. This is 1.5, right? So exactly between 1 and 2, plus 1 plus 2, it is nothing but 1.2, 1.5. Similarly, with respect to this particular 16.2, 16.2 is lying between 3 to 4, 3 to 4 months, 3.5. Midpoint value. So this is nothing but normalized value. If you just want to analyze it, it is nothing but mid value Got an idea now? See, for calculating your quantization code, all these things are not necessary. But afterwards, you need to check it back, right? So with respect to what is the exact value that you got it, for that particular reason, you require this calculation, normalized pulse amplitude modulation, quantized values with respect to that normalized error, everything. Quantized code, how it is, how you are getting it means with respect to your minus 6.1, it is lying in this particular level. These are all nothing but levels. Which we'll be fixing it while calculating the delta value. Delta value is nothing but how many bifurcation that you need to have it in each particular thing. That's what it will be just saying it, understanding it. So that is nothing but your levels in this particular level where it will be lying. So that's what it will be just giving you the answer. Are you getting this now? Still somebody has doubt, you can just raise your hand or you can just post a question. No problem. We'll just try to analyze this. See quantization code 2, how it is coming with respect to the 6.1 and as well as minus 5.5 is there. Minus 5.5 is also lying with the same particular level because it is crossing this particular minus 1. If it crosses to minus 1, then it will be in terms of minus 1 to minus 2. In that, which is the level number that we have marked? 2. So that's why 2 is the one that we have targeted. Similar fashion with respect to your minus 11.3. Minus 11.3 is lying or is above this particular minus 2 to minus 3 between this particular point. So between this, what is the level number that we have? 1. Second, next point is minus 9.4. It is one step below this particular minus 9.4 is coming between your minus 1 to minus 2. So it is one step behind, but still it is taking the value as 2. So like that, it will be just going on. Understanding it? Any doubt? For calculating the PCM, quantization code, sampling, with respect to that, 3 techniques are there. Ideal, that is what we have just assumed that here, one spike is there. It's an impulse. Why it is called as an impulse? It will not stay for a longer time. There only it starts, there only it ends. So which is highly impossible for us to identify it. So the second one is a pulse coding. That is nothing but here, it will be once it reaches to the maximum level, it will be there for a certain amount of time. But with a different amplitude, it will be just having it. That is called as natural sampling. With the same amplitude, highest amplitude, once it is reached with respect to that, if you are flattening enough over there itself, then we call it as flat topped. So 3 levels of sampling. How many samplings that you require? It purely depends on your channel that we are using it. But normally, according to your Nyquist, it should be minimum signal rate should be twice the maximum frequency that you have in that particular channel, whether it is a low pass or whether it is a band pass. Only 2 passes it is available. Understanding it? So any doubt with respect to this? Any doubt? Any doubt? So it is clear, right? So how to calculate this? So we are just moving one, that is encoder is finished. That is one-way communication. From the sender, it has been sent to the receiver or transmission medium. From the transmission medium, it should be converted back to the receiver, right? How to do it? For that, these particular, what will be the input for that? What will be the input? Input is nothing but encoded digital signals. This is what from analog, yeah, analog signal. If I just try to draw it, is how it is. So from this analog signal, we have converted it to encoded it to a data, digital data. From this digital data, once again, we need to convert it back to the original analog signal. How it is done? With that, we need to see the decoder part. We'll just come back to this slide later. So we'll just see the decoder part and we'll just come back at it. So in the decoder, PCM encoder consists of 3 blocks: sampling, quantization, and quantization is nothing but normalization. You just keep that in your head, normalizing the values. The next level is with respect to your encoding. So 3 blocks were there. So here with respect to your PCM decoder, that means digital data will be coming. From this digital data, you need to convert it to an analog signal, because analog signal is the output signal that you need to transmit. That is the input signal that you need to transmit to the other end. So you need to have this particular digital data to conversion of digital data to analog signal. How it can be done? It is done with respect to your PCM decoder. What is the decoder that it will be containing? It will be containing 2 parts. One is make and connect the samples. That is, you just plot the same particular thing, whatever you got it. So with respect to your amplitude and time, you plot it. You plot the graph. With respect to your digital signal only, you plot it. Next thing is, you just pass all the particular signals, whichever is coming with respect to your low pass. Using the low pass filter, you just filter out the things. So using the low pass filter, if you just filter out, so at that time, the connecting points, whatever is having, so those particular points will be taken into consideration. Low pass filter means what? Whenever you will be just converting, okay, I'll just try to mark this so that if I annotate this, you will be coming to know at least. So low pass is from highest to lowest, right? So highest to lowest is this particular point, or this pink itself. I'll just change the color so that it will be easy for you to identify it. So this is the point, first one. Next one is lowest to lowest not. So lowest to highest is this particular. Similarly. So this is how you'll be filtering the things. So these points, sorry, not this one. If you try to connect these points, it will be nothing but the analog signal that you have transmitted. So this is how it will be decoded at the other end. Understood? Is it clear? Any doubt? Am I audible? Hello? Hello? So whatever I just delivered now, whatever we have discussed right now with respect to the components of the decoder, is it easy to understand? Or you got something with respect to the topic? Shall we move to the next one? Yes. Thank you. Before moving further, I just want to explain what is this particular thing is all about. That is human voice. Some calculation was there, right? In between. We just try to analyze this. What is this? It is nothing but your signal to noise ratio. That's it. SNR. SNR is nothing but signal to noise ratio. So how this particular signal to noise ratio is represented in terms of sample rate. That's what they are just given it with respect to the example. So it purely depends on the formula. The formula is very simple. SNR with respect to your decibels, if you are just going to deal with it. So at that particular point of time, there is a constant by the number called as 6.02 multiplied by number of bits that you want to transmit it plus 1.76. These two are constants. 6.02 and 1.76 both are constants. So I need to calculate this. What is this particular number of bits? Or I can calculate if I have the number of bits with respect to our previous example that we have seen it with respect to your quantization. 3 bits at a time, you need to just transmit it. That's what we have just had it, right? So what is the signal to noise ratio with respect to that? What will be the signal to noise ratio? So 3 bits is there, means you substitute that, then signal to noise ratio with respect to your decibels, you'll be getting the answer. So if you want, you can just check out the previous one. This is the signal to noise ratio that you will be having with respect to your quantization, using the quantization formula. Understanding it. Signal to noise ratio, what is that actually? What is signal to noise ratio actually? What is SNR? Whether it is dB, we will just see it later. Don't worry about dB. dB is nothing but decibels. In decibels, if you want to express it, then it need to be expressed in that. Don't worry about that. What is signal to noise ratio? It will be giving you the quality of the signal. Understanding it, how reliable the signal is, it will be identified with respect to the quality of the signal. How it will be done? It will be done with based on this particular SNR ratio. So signal to noise ratio. If the noise is suppressed, means you will be getting all the signals to be transmitted directly. So reliable one. That means whatever the signal that you transmit, it will be reached to the other end. That's what you call it as signal to noise ratio. So average power required for transmitting the signal divided by average power required to transmitting the noise. If the noise power is completely suppressed, means always you'll be getting the signal. That means you have whatever the throughput is always high. So n number of bits has been transmitted, means n number of bits has been received at the other end. Understanding it. So it purely that particular signal to noise ratio is purely it will be identifying the performance of the network. Okay, so you need to be very careful with respect to that, handling the signal to noise ratio. If you increase the noise, your signal is gone. Simple thing, I'll just ask you to do. Unmute, all of you unmute your microphones. What happens? My voice will be suppressed and all your background noises will be, noises are nothing but unwanted things which is not required right now according to our particular discussion, which is unwanted. Unwanted thing can be a fan that is rotating, a table fan or anything. So that sound will be nothing but a noise for us because it's an unwanted thing. We don't want that particular noise. We want to hear only the person who is talking. Understanding it, we are much able to listen to that particular person's voice itself. So that is where you will be just continuing with respect to signal to noise ratio. That's very important. According to your samples, if you are given it with respect to your samples, the number of samples with respect to how many bits per sample you can transmit it, depending on that your SNR dB, if you want to calculate it, means then 6.02 into number of bits that you need to transmit plus 1.76. If you just answer this, then it will be giving you the SNR dB. So if you want to increase the number of levels, then your signal to noise ratio will also be increased. Understanding it. So 20 decibels is nothing but 20 amount of particular signal strength that you will be getting it with respect to your transmitting a signal which is having 3 bits in one particular data. One data containing 3 bits, if you transmit it, means in a nearly 20 decibels of data you can just transmit it. The other one, they have given one more particular example. A telephone subscriber line must have an SNRDB, that is signal to noise ratio is given above 40, that is more than 40 he can have it. What is the minimum number of bits per sample that you will be having it? So SNRDB, if I assume that it is 40, so 40 is equal to 6.20 into NB, that is number of bits, plus 1.76. What we need to identify? We need to identify the minimum number of bits. So n will be equal to 40 minus 1.76 divided by 6.20, 6.02. So whatever the value that you get, that will be nothing but your n value. N number of bits cannot be addressed in terms of decimal point. So you need to approximately saying that it should be nearer to the next available bit or next available number. So 6.35 greater than that, if you have it means 7, or you can just go with 8. If you are having it as 1 byte of length, then you can have 8 bits at a time. So 7 or 8 bits sample, you can just transmit it minimum, or above 7 you can transmit it with respect to this particular signal to noise ratio. That's what it means. So we want to digitize the human voice. What is the bit rate assuming 8 bits per sample? Human voice we need to digitize. Human voice we need to digitize means what will be the maximum frequency that you have? 4 kilohertz, as we have already seen it. So sampling rate, if you just assume it, it will be nothing but 4,000. 4 kilo means 4,000. 4,000 into 2, that is 8,000 samples per second. Okay, so what they have asked is what is the bit rate assuming 8 bits per sample? That means I need to have it the bit rate. I need to calculate it. How to calculate the bit rate with respect to sampling rate? So bit rate will be nothing but how many samples that you have multiplied by how many bits per sample that you will be having it. So it is nothing but multiplied by 8. That is nothing but 64 kbps of bit rate, or bits can be transmitted in per second. That's what it says with respect to human voice. Okay, this one we have seen it. So we'll take up one more example. We have a low pass analog signal of 4 kilohertz. If we send the analog signal, we need a channel with a minimum bandwidth of 4 kilohertz. What they are saying is low pass analog signal of 4 kilohertz. That means the maximum bandwidth is given 4 kilohertz itself. Understanding it? So if we digitize the signal and send 8 bits per sample, we need a channel with a minimum bandwidth of how much? That's what they are asking it. So 8 bit per sample, they will be just transmitting it. What is the frequency that we have? 4 kilohertz. So 8 into 4 kilohertz will be nothing but 34 kilohertz will be the minimum bandwidth that we need to have it if we want to sample 8 bits in one particular second. Understanding it? So that's what it says. So we'll stop here. So if you have any doubt, you can just ask me. Otherwise, we'll wind up this meeting. If you have any doubt. So whatever I'm just delivering here, you can able to understand it, right? The topic that has been covered till date. Hello? Am I audible? Register number 104. I'll just unmute you. So you just tell me whether you have understood whatever the question that you have, whether I have answered to your question, whatever you have posted in the group chat.
Yes,
Hello?
sir, I have understood. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I have understood, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So can you able to hear some other noises apart from her noise, which is running at the background? So this is nothing but your signal strength, SNR. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you all for your kind cooperation. We'll just continue the rest of the things in the next class. Okay. Thank you.